What's up, everybody? Welcome back to week 13 and 14 bump date. That's right, another twofer, even though we had made this promise that we weren't going to do this again.
And here we are.
Yep. So let's jump right into it and tell me how you've been feeling, baby.
As far as symptoms go for weeks 13 and 14, I don't feel like I've had anything new. I've just still been really tired. My sickness has got a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I've also not been eating gluten, so that might be. And I've pretty much cut out anything that I know makes me sick. Like, I'm down to a very few amount of foods that I'm eating, so maybe I'm just not eating anything that'll irritate my stomach.
We're just sticking with what works right now.
Yeah.
Which is working, so that's good.
I have been having this strange thing happen whenever I stand up after sitting down, and I don't know if it's a blood pressure thing. I don't know if it's a headache thing. I told him I don't think that it's a headache because it's not painful, it's just really uncomfortable. If I'm sitting down, or if I'm resting, or if I'm not moving around, like if I stand at the stove and cook something, or stand at the sink and do dishes or something, and then I move, it's like everything starts spinning. And I haven't mentioned it to my doctor yet, so I think at my next appointment I'm going to, because I don't know what it could be. I do have like chronically low blood pressure, like very often whenever I go into the doctors and they check my blood pressure, it'll be like 80 over 50 or 95 over like 56, like just fairly low. And they're always like, oh, it's good because it's low and it's not high, but I'm wondering if my blood pressure is not dropping too low. Because whenever I have been hospitalized before and they make you wear that cuff like all throughout the night, I've had nurses come in before and wake me up and be like, your blood pressure's too low, you need to get up and walk around a little bit, or just get up and like move a little bit. So I don't know if it's a blood pressure thing, I don't know if it's a headache thing, I really don't know. If anybody has any ideas, let me know.
Yeah, we're also going to try to get a blood pressure monitor or whatever, so we can kind of keep a closer eye on that. But
yeah, because I don't know quite what's going on there. In week 13, we had a maternal fetal medicine appointment, which I talked about in, I think, our 11-week update.
yeah.
Whenever I had gone to see them before, I wasn't far enough along for them to do the NT, or neural
Don't ask me.
local, I don't know. I have no idea how to pronounce that. It's the test, or not the test, but the scan where they basically look at the sac on the back of baby's neck, and it can indicate whether or not the baby will have Down syndrome. And ours passed. It's supposed to be like under 3 centimeters or something like that, and ours was like 2. Or it may not have been centimeters. It may have been smaller.
No.
But the parameters was 3 some kind of measurement unit, and ours was like 2. But they also do a blood test, and they gave me 2 different options. I don't know the brand names of these, but one of the options was to where they could just do like a finger poke and collect blood that way and tell us basically just whether or not baby has a certain risk of different like chromosomal, that does not sound right, chromosomal disorders. Man, I don't know how to speak anymore. So they gave me the option of the finger stick test, or I could do a blood draw where they would actually collect the baby's DNA and chromosomes and
test for different
test
things.
all that, which would also tell us the gender. So I did the finger stick test, and they called me back 2 days later and said, I'm sorry we didn't collect enough blood, can you come in the next 15 minutes, basically, because you have to do it before 13 weeks, and I was 13 weeks that next day. So I live like an hour away from the high risk OB, so there was no way I was going to make that. So I had another appointment during 14 weeks for them to draw blood, so they are doing that test now. I opted out of that one at first because they told us that that was going to be there's a higher chance of a false positive because of my age. They said the older you are, the less likely there is going to be a false positive, but younger people, for whatever reason, sometimes have false positives with those tests. So we just decided to not risk the anxiety.
Yeah, we didn't want to have the worry or anything surrounded by something that could be a false positive.
Yeah.
So we opted out.
But
now we're gonna find out.
now we did it. So it is like 99.9% accurate. So
yeah.
Hopefully we don't get a false positive. Oh well. But so we should be finding out the gender coming up in 15 weeks. I don't think I ever talk about it exactly like how far along I am in each video, but we try to do these at the end of a week so I can, like today I'm 14 weeks and 6 days. So tomorrow I will turn 15 weeks, and I want to be able to talk about the week that just happened, not the upcoming week, because I don't want to do a 15-week pregnancy update and not have experienced my 15 weeks yet. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense.
Makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you?
Yes. So, at the first appointment, the maternal fetal medicine appointment, we did get to see baby again. It's still in there, dancing its little heart out. We didn't get as good of pictures as last time.
The tech wasn't as good. No. The tech was great.
We didn't get as good of pictures as last time, which was kind of a bummer. But we still got to see baby quite a bit. It seems so much bigger. It's crazy. It's so much bigger. The heart rate is still like 150 something.
Yeah,
I think it was 150. No,
150,
it wasn't 57.
It's 150 something.
I think it was 153.
Yeah.
I wrote it down somewhere, but I'm pretty sure it was 153. But so we did get to see baby. Little tiny thing. You can see right there is its little hand and its legs and arms. And there was some 3D pictures, but they looked very predator-like. None of them were very good. Very predator-like. Ugh. So, wasn't super impressed with the 3D images that we got, but it was still really cool getting to see the baby. And because they were doing all the like measurements of the extremities and everything like that, just what they do during a first trimester screening, we were able to see the baby's blood flow and everything. They do like a contrast, is that what you would call it? It's like a contrast where everything that's blood flow is in red and blue, and it looks like electricity. I was like, it looks like my child's being electrocuted right now. This is just fantastic. But it allows you to see the blood flow of everything. So you can see the blood flow through the placenta, you can see the blood flow through the baby, and then they were able to zoom in and let us see, like, you could see the chambers of the heart pumping. It was crazy. I'm so blown away with technology.
It was crazy.
It was really
cool. It really
cool.
was crazy.
You can see their brain. We were able to see all the organs. Everything is growing the way that it should. Everything looks good, thankfully. So that was that appointment. During 14 weeks, I had an endocrinologist appointment. Nothing super new. I have received my insulin pump, and I was weary about it at first. I've been doing pretty well with my shots and my Dexcom, and I was thinking maybe we'll just stick with that because I feel like I don't want to fix what's not broke. But I think I'm going to go ahead and try the pump out for a little bit, just because I'm still having like middle of the night lows. But if I give myself less insulin than what I'm taking now at night, I wake up higher than I should be. So a pump would really help in that situation. And also with my gastroparesis, I take insulin before I eat, like 15 to 30 minutes depending on what I'm going to eat. And sometimes the food doesn't process in my body as fast as like a normal person would because of my gastroparesis. So I'm dropping low before my food gives me that gradual spike, so then I have to treat that, and then I end up too high, or it's just really complicated. And I think a pump and the settings that the pump offers might help me have like tighter control, because while my averages are great, while I do have like way better numbers than I ever have in my whole life, actually, I'm still having a lot of lows and still having too many highs for me to be comfortable. I'm still going high once or twice a day, and I'm dropping low at least once or twice a day. So while my averages are great, I would like to just have everything be better, and I think a pump might help me achieve that. And if it doesn't, I can always take it off and call it quits. I don't have to stick with it. So I am a little worried about how I'm going to like clip it onto me, because I'm at the point now where I'm only wearing like sports bras and comfortable bras and comfortable shorts and Tanner shirts, because I feel like that's all that fits at this point. I'm really not huge, but I was pretty small before. I wore like extra smalls and smalls and everything, and I was actually in the process of gaining weight whenever I got pregnant. I was at too low of a weight this time last year. I was probably 90 pounds, yeah. 90 to 100 pounds, and right now I weigh 134. So all the clothes that I wore this time last year are just too small anyways, with me trying to gain the weight at the beginning of this year and then getting pregnant. My body is much larger than what I was this time last year. So I'm probably gonna have to buy some more clothes soon if I don't want to look homeless. So as I mentioned before, with the endocrinologist appointment, we've adjusted my insulin and everything, but prior to this week I was dropping extremely low pretty often, and it was getting to be too much with work, because I would drop low all night long and I wasn't getting any sleep at all, and then I would try to go to work, and I worked in a warehouse and was lifting boxes, and it's hot. It's 100.
Mind you, it's 100 degrees in Texas.
Yeah, it's already 100 degrees consistently here in Texas. So I did end up resigning from my job this past week just for my own health reasons. It wasn't fair to them for me to have to keep calling in, and it wasn't fair to me to put the stress on myself to constantly try to show up and like do the best that I can, when in reality, like physically, it just was draining me. Like I got to the point where I could go in for like 4 hours, and then I would come home and have to sleep the rest of the day, and then I was literally worthless around the house. Like I couldn't even go to the kitchen and make a meal for him, and it wasn't working out. So we decided it would just be better, or rather he decided it would just be better if I went ahead and quit and stayed home for right now. I don't know if that's gonna stay permanent. Once the baby gets here, he wants me home.
Yeah.
No matter what. We don't really want to put the child in daycare. So I don't know where we're gonna go from here as far as employment for me, or if I do babysit quite often, probably like once a week, a couple
Which is
times.
a decent gig. So
yeah, I make good money whenever I babysit. So if I could honestly, I could babysit twice a week, I'd probably make just as much as I was making at my job, with literally a quarter of the work, not even a quarter of the work, way less work. So there is that.
But I think it's for her sake and for the sake of her baby that she focus on her health and have the least amount of stress as possible. So that's what we're working on.
He's a good man.
I thought you were going to say I stress you out.
No, he doesn't stress me out at all. He's literally been like my savior this whole pregnancy. I do not know what I would do without him. He picks up my slack 100% all the time. He's been phenomenal, and I really could not ask for anything better. So, as I said, I'm 14 weeks and 6 days today, which means I have reached the second trimester. I'm technically in my second trimester. Yes. We still have yet to announce on Facebook. I don't really know like why we're just taking so long. I just haven't got a good picture, I guess. Honestly, I don't know. I think we're going to wait until we know the gender, and we're going to announce that way. That just seems to make more sense to us right now. at this point. So we'll find out the gender results, and then we'll probably announce on social media that way.
And then that'll be next week, right?
That should be next week.
Yep, so stick around for next week.
And also, I had mentioned, I don't know if it was in the 12-week or before then, but I am going to do a video of like the first trimester baby buys, because now I've bought everything that we're going to buy in the first trimester since I'm out of it. So I can show you like the few clothing items that I bought and books and stuff like that, in case anybody is interested.
Yeah. And
I never talked about my cravings for these last 2 weeks. I've wanted pizza a lot. And we do eat like a dairy-free, gluten-free, vegan, blah 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 pizza. That's actually not super high in carbs either, so it really doesn't mess with my blood sugar that much. So pizza, this baby seems to like pizza this week and this last week.
And you were still doing burritos last week, right?
Yeah, I ate a burrito like 5 or 6 days ago though, and was almost instantly ill after it, so now I just haven't been into the burritos. I've definitely gone through like phases in my pregnancy so far where it's been like I'm all about one food for like a week and then I move on to something else.
It's gonna be pretty typical, I feel like.
Probably. It'll probably continue. I definitely have been into pizza. I did make some gluten-free vegan lasagna last week. That was pretty well. Maybe it's just like Italian food that I've been into. I don't know. Last few days it's been Chinese food. I really like pho and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Everything lasts for like a couple of days and then I'm over it.
Except for me.
Yes. Never over you. So, this week, baby is supposed to be the size of a focus beet. Which is kind of crazy. And they say that baby can now make like facial expressions. Its kidneys are working, so it can create urine. I am 90% sure I have felt the baby move. It's very weird and it feels almost like a tidal wave in my stomach. But I'm pretty darn sure that it's not gas. I am pretty positive. It just happened 2 days ago.
Yeah.
2 days ago for the first time, so 14 weeks and 4 days. And I'm pretty sure I felt it again today. So, pretty sure I felt flutters anyways. Obviously I can't feel the baby kick or anything like that, but I'm pretty darn sure I felt it move. Which, with how much it moves on the ultrasound, I'm not surprised. I think we're going to have a hyperactive baby.
Yeah, that's cool.
A little soccer player.
So I can't feel anything yet, but
no, he won't be able to feel anything for a while.
Until we're like, getting kicks.
I can. My ribs sure can. I'm honestly a little terrified of that and how much pain that's going to be. Especially as the baby starts to run out of room.
Yeah.
Because they can already tell that I'm going to be big. So, eek. And speaking of big, I guess we will go ahead and show you my belly.
It's that time of the show, everybody's favorite time of the show.
So this is my 14 weeks and 6 days belly.
Let's see that belly, baby.
So at all my doctor's appointments, this is the shirt on. Like I said, comfortable clothes, y'all. So it's with their shirt on and with the shirt up.
Yeah. Alright. Hold that right there for me. What were you last week? 35?
On the 12-week one, I was 35 exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That says almost 36. Like almost to a T, that is 36.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
Crazy.
Definitely gotten bigger in the last 2 weeks. I have still actually lost weight though. I'm like 131 or something like that. I was at my endocrinologist appointment. I think that's just from not eating a ton and still being sick.
Yeah, the morning.
Although the last 3 days have been good. I haven't really gotten sick in the last 3 days. I have been nauseous, but I haven't actually thrown up, which has been nice. A very nice change, because I think it had been like 2 or 3 weeks since I had gone a single day without puking.
Absolutely.
I think that's gonna do it. I don't think we have anything else to update you guys on.
Yeah, as always, social media is in the description. Like, comment, and subscribe. Interact with us. It helps our channel grow, and we greatly appreciate it.
If we have not mentioned it before, which I think we have, we're in the process of building a tiny house or converting a shed into a tiny house. He's doing all the work.
Subscribe to my channel if you want to see that process. I'm editing some videos right
We're
now.
a little behind on editing videos because he has just been trying to like bust it out, so he hasn't even been filming the process. But we're probably gonna pick back up and do like a walkthrough tour of everything that's been done so far.
Yeah.
Here in the next like week or so, just to, especially now that I'm home, we have more time. I can edit the videos while I'm home. So
that channel is Tanner Eskew. You can find that.
I always have the link in the
in
down
the
bar,
description.
anyways.
Yeah. That's gonna do it for weeks 13 and 14. Bump date. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And you have anything to add, baby?
Hopefully, with the second trimester, I'm not even gonna promise you guys, but hopefully we'll be able to keep up with the weekly updates from now on. Like I said, with me being home more, I have a little more energy to actually function like a normal human being, and
We have things set up. It's going to be a little bit easier for us to do these videos for you guys. So with that said, we will see you next week for week 15.
bye.
Bye, guys.